Hello there YouTube and welcome to the inaugural episode of Llama's Legacy Legendaries. Today we are going to be starting a series where we document my adventures in achieving the acquisition of all of the legendary weapons pre-Legion. So in total we will be looking to acquire 8 legendaries. These will be 2 from Vanilla, which will be the Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, and Sulphurous Hand of Ragnaros. The 2 weapons we are looking to acquire from TBC content will be Thoridal, the Star's Fury, and the Twin Blades of Azanoth. The 2 weapons we are looking to acquire from the Wrath of the Lich King expansion are Shadowmourne from Icecrown Citadel, and val'anyr, Hammer of the Ancient Kings, the healing legendary from Ulduar. And finally, the 2 legendaries we are looking to acquire from Cataclysm content are Dragon Wrath, Tarek Ghost's Rest, and Fangs of the Father. It should be noted, however guys, that in this first episode these are the 2 that will not be looking to be pursued, basically due to the fact that the idea for this series came late in the week and I simply didn't have enough time to go for Dragon Wrath. And I don't yet currently have a high enough level rogue to go for Fangs of the Father, as it is a rogue exclusive, but both of these will be issues worked on for future episodes. So let's begin. So guys, we're beginning with vanilla legendaries, seems like a logical place to start, and the lucky drops that we're looking for here in week 1 come solely from the Molten Core raid, which you'll find in Blackrock Mountain. The lucky drops we are looking for are Eye of Sulphurous, which drops from Ragnaros, the final boss, and is what we'll be needing to make Sulphurous Hand of Ragnaros, as well as the Bindings of the Windseeker, which drop in both a left and right variant from the bosses Gar and Baron Geddon respectively. These are incredibly low drop chances, but the simple way of getting these guys is just to run the Molten Core every week. Most people that are looking to do this will use multiple characters, but I'm really aiming to get as many as I can of these legendaries on as few characters as possible, although it is impossible to get all legendaries on any single character. As you can see here, I'm using my warrior, which is the one that I want to acquire both legendaries from Molten Core on. I'm actually lucky enough here guys to get one of the bindings on my very first run. They are an incredibly low drop chance and I can't stress how lucky I was. I've unfortunately not recorded the commentary of the time, but I had quite a little excitement going on, shall we say, when it happened, so let's just go and have a look at this then guys. So yeah, a little bit lucky there guys, a little bit exciting, but unfortunately the luck did not continue and the rest of this Molten Core run does not pertain to getting any more legendaries for us. We got nothing off of Baron Geddon and nothing off of Ragnaros, so I guess it'd be time to call it a day there and move into the TBC legendaries. So guys, the BC legendaries are also just lucky drops. There is no questline tied to them. These are the Warglaives of Azanoth, which if you are lucky drop from the final boss of Black Temple, Illidan Stormrage, and the Thoridal, the Star's Fury drops from the final boss in the Sunwell Plateau, which is Kill Jaden. I'm sure any of you playing Legion content right now are familiar with these 2 characters. Unfortunately, however though guys, my familiarity with them and how much I've helped them all out on the Broken Shore, well, helped Illidan out I suppose, fought against Kil'jaeden, he might have reasons to not be giving me legendaries, but either which way, neither of them did this week. So let's move on to Wrath of the Lich King. So the Wrath of the Lich King legendaries are val'anyr, Hammer of the Ancient Kings, and Shadowmourne. So these are a little bit more complicated guys than the previous ones, which are basically just drops at this point. So val'anyr is still just a drop that we require at the minute, although it's not a drop, we actually require 30 of these fragments that you see me acquiring here. These are droppable from any boss in Ulduar but have a higher drop chance from bosses that you complete on hard mode. And in my first week I actually managed to acquire 4 of them here, which I thought was pretty decent. You may notice however that I am running the dungeon on my druid. I'd rather have all of the legendaries on a single character, but the val'anyr is only available to classes that can heal, as it is a healing legendary. So if you're going to farm this yourself guys, do make sure to do it on a character that can heal. So then guys, beginning with Shadowmourne, by far the most complicated of all of the legendaries that you see me attempting here this week. So to begin to acquire Shadowmourne, you need to have a character that is a Death Knight, a Paladin, or a Warrior. These are the only classes that can attain Shadowmourne, and once you've got one, I highly recommend that you do this on max level, although it can be done on any character level 80 and above, but you will need help if you're not particularly high. So it begins with a simple rep grind. What you see me doing here, just running into the dungeon, killing all of the trash, running out, resetting, running back in, killing the trash again. I recommend doing this on 25-man heroic mode because it just gets you done a little bit quicker, and you need to do this until you are friendly with the dungeon's native reputation faction, which is the Ashen Verdict. At this point a quest will unlock and then we can move on to the next step. So what we need to do guys is, for the next step we need to acquire ourselves 25 Primordial Saronite. Now these are drops from the bosses on heroic mode in ICC, but I highly recommend that you buy them. Most realms they have a really low price, you can get them all very easily, and it will save you weeks in the process of getting your legendary. All you need to do is buy these 25, have them in your bag when you go to hand the quest in, easy as that. After that, what we need to do is we need to head out of the instance, and we need to head to a cave that you see me in here, which is where we acquire Light's Vengeance. Now Light's Vengeance is found in this cave here in the north of Dragonblight. The little quest that you see that you have to do here is incredibly simple. It was a challenge back at level 80, but now guys it's simply fly in, click the hammer, and then it moves around, there's some RP, keep clicking the hammer, and eventually you will acquire the hammer and it will be in your inventory. Now the last 2 things that we need guys for the first quest that you see me doing here is the acidic bloods from the 2 abomination bosses in ICC. So these are found in the Plague Wing, and they are Festagut and Rotface. Now once you've acquired these bloods, you simply, in order to get them, just have to kill them and loot the boss and you will get your bloods. Then you head back to the beginning of the instance and hand in the quest, easy as that. The next part of the quest guys is the infusions. First up is the Unholy Infusion, where we have to infuse our new Shadow's Edge weapon that we acquired with Unholy Power, which we do by going to the Professor Putricide boss and allowing him to put these pools of green liquid down on the floor. Once he has put down 3 puddles, I like to use 3 because it makes it a little bit safer, because if you mess any of these infusions up it can be an issue of waiting until the following week to rectify it. But if done correctly, he will turn you into an abomination, which you do by right clicking on the table at the back of the room whilst he's transitioning at 80% HP so that it doesn't bug out and reset. Once you are an abomination, you stand in the pools, you press your 1 ability until you have eaten the pools sufficiently to infuse your weapon with power, press your number 6 key to infuse your weapon with the power that you have eaten, and then kill the boss, easy as that. So the next part of this quest line is the blood infusion, and it is a bastard. This is what gets most people to give up on the quest line. You do require friends for this, you cannot solo it. Under best case scenario conditions, you can do it as just 2 people if you're a Death Knight and your friend is a Shaman, as it requires you bite somebody and allow them to die 3 times. Under those circumstances, you being a Death Knight would have a combat res to use on the Shaman and he would be able to resurrect himself. So you would start the encounter that you see me here, wait for the Gushing Wounds debuff to turn you into a vampire, bite your friend, allow them to die, then you will need to either resurrect said friend or get another friend and bite them, allow them to die, and then a 3rd time bite them and allow them to die. Unfortunately, there isn't much of an in-game method to know if you've done this correctly. You simply have to do this, bite 3 people, allow them to die in hope that you have done this part correctly. There is no identifier in the UI to show you that you've done it, which is an absolute bastard. But as you can see here, I managed to get a friend of mine to give me a hand, as well as a family member actually, and we were able to do it in just a few attempts, and thanks to the magic of editing you won't see all of our failures, but it can be quite tricky, guys. Now the final infusion, guys, is the Frost Infusion. This is incredibly simple. All you have to do is go to the Sindragosa boss and you simply let her hit you for a bit until she uses Frost Breath 4 times on you. You'll see the debuff, and once you get 4 stacks, the debuff disappears. You get a little buff. It says if you kill Sindragosa in the next 6 minutes, you will get your Frost Infusion quest completed, which is what you see me doing here. Nice and easy, and take down the boss afterwards and go and hand it in. This part is done, and we are on to the main grind of the Legendary questline. Fun times. Now, unfortunately, guys, I didn't get footage for the start of the next part of this, but I didn't actually have any success with it either. But what it will be is that you will get the bulk of your quest line in the form of the next quest, which is to kill bosses on 25-man heroic mode in ICC until you get 50 Shadow Frost shards. These shards will drop from any boss, but at a relatively low drop chance. I personally tend to find that it is about 40%, but again, that's RNG based. A lot of people tell me that it's usually significantly lower and they only get 2 or 3 a week, so it's just a long grind at this point now then, guys, until you eventually get it, and I'll keep you up to date with how mine's going. So that's it for episode 1, guys, and I'd just like to say a big thank you for watching, and I hope that we get some more luck in the next episode. I'll see you then. See you later, guys. Bye.